All right, you guys. I have my kids tonight. They're joining me. Their dad is not there and are here to help, and they're still awake. So, okay, so I don't have a lot to cover. Could get interesting. I don't have a lot to cover tonight, honestly, because there's been just a ton of stuff going on with everything, but I did want to cover just to make sure that you guys know that the 21 just let's go over the challenge packs and what's going on right now and what's happening and all that stuff. Okay, so the 21-day fix and the 21-day fix extreme are both on sale for $140, and then they can add the kickstart for an additional $20. So it'd be right, Katie, or is it 160, 180? It's either 160 or 100.
I think it's 180.
Okay, so it's $180 for the kickstart with either program, either the 21-day fix or the 21-day fix extreme, or if they're just getting the Shakeology package and they're getting the workout with the workouts, the 21-day fix, are both $140. So it doesn't matter which one. The reason of that is, as a reminder, is because Autumn Calabrese is coming out with the 21-day fix cookbook, which is called Fixate. And I'll be honest, I'm really excited about seeing what's in that. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure we have a lot of new coaches who are on the call or will be listening to the call. Just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that and how you can help your customers save $20 on the challenge pack. You guys have any questions about that? Anything you wanted to add?
Okay. No, it is 180. The kickstart is 180. I just double checked. So
the kickstart is 180. Okay, you can write that. Okay, so the kickstart is 180. The program. No, you gotta sit down. You gotta sit down right there. Okay, go poop, Cash. I'm so sorry for those of you who are just joining. My kids are still up and no husband in sight. So we're going to wing it. My kid just said he's going to go poop. So everybody knows what's going on in my life. I'm keeping it real over here.
Yo.
Keeping it real over here. So you can still run a business and be busy as ever. So, okay. So tonight, I just wanted to cover that, ask you guys have any questions. And like right now we're at the 8th of June. So that's crazy to me that we have a little bit over 6 weeks before Summit. Haven't even really started packing for that, but that is something that should be on my radar. One thing I do want to make sure that for those of you who are going to Summit, that Monday is actually the day that we can start registering for the different events. So you can register for the workouts, which workouts you want to go to. If you want to go to Autumn Calabrese's workout, you have to register for that on the different days. If you want to go to Shanti, you have to register for that. Cash, give me 30 minutes, okay? Just sit down. You have to register for those, and that's good. There's over 25,000 people who are going to Summit, and that is probably 150% more than there was last year, in Las Vegas. So it's going to be a crazy. Nobody really knows what to expect, but we do know that we can register for those sessions. So what I challenge you guys to do this week is to sit down and figure out which sessions you are going to go to, which ones spark your interest, and write those down, and then we can plan accordingly. The other thing is, and I'm sorry if you guys are not going or if you're listening to this, but I do want to make sure that people are aware of that. That also, too, that you can earn a chance to have a call with Bo Eason for different Success Club points, and then also for the Success Club party. So you can earn that along the way. But also then making sure that if you need to register for either Team Courage. And I think we talked about that earlier today. Summer has her Team Courage training that she's been doing the last couple of years, and she does a phenomenal job, has a lot of great speakers and things like that going on. And I think that is that Thursday morning. Right, Katie?
I think so. I'm kind of confused on that because I thought originally it was an overlapping event with
Finish Line Leaders, with Doug and Tammy Fitzgerald's group. Doug and Tracy Morrow put that on. It's called Finish Line Leaders, and I'm fairly certain that I looked in the group for Finish Line Leaders today, and it said it was from 12:30 to 4. And
Okay.
then I think summers is from like 8 to 1. Maybe there's a little bit of a crossover, but I think they're two different time frames, but we'll double check. But there are registration fees. You do have to register for those. I think Team Courage is a very small amount of money to be able to register just to help cover some of the costs. But if you can, get to those and register, I would highly recommend that you start looking at that and then planning out your schedule. What are some of the things that you really want to see at Summit? Which days and what events and things like that.
Mommy, where are my cars?
I don't know where your cars are, but I'll get them in just a minute, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that being said, that you need to start planning.
Sure.
That's something that's on my radar right now, is to sit down and figure out what the heck it is I'm going to be going to and what, who I want to see, who are the speakers. We have a lot of people in our network of coaches that are speaking. I mean, Summer speaking and Carrie Legault speaking. Megan Elwazin, she's speaking. There's lots of people who are in our network and in our downline per se that are speaking at the event. Now, if you aren't attending, these are all recorded, which is really cool. So you guys can always, in the next couple of months, you'll be able to see those those events. And you can always go back to the events calendar and schedule, and they'll kind of let you know exactly where they are and where they can be found, but you can watch them all, which is really cool if you can attend. Okay. All right. So a couple things that we do have coming up. We have the business opportunity coming up that Katie and I will be doing live on June 17th. So this is a great opportunity for you guys to start thinking, who would you like to invite to join your team as a coach, either as a discount coach or as a coach to grow the business, to help you out, to run challenge groups.
I want to get a pencil.
Do you see that I'm running a meeting right now? Okay. All right. So you want to be thinking about somebody that you've had on your dream team list. If you don't have a dream team list, it's a good time to be able to start growing that list and write them down. And if they've been in your challenge groups, or maybe they haven't, been in there yet, but you want to introduce them to Team Beachbody, this is a great no pressuring way that they can come and we can register for a 3-day refresh among our guests. The people who are guests get to register for that, so that's really cool. Okay. The other thing is we right now are in, I just want to give you a heads up on something that Katie and I have been talking about. We, of course, in the month of May, ran a 30-day, I think, Caitlin, you're just rounding yours up. I just rounded mine up this last week, was a free 30-day Beachbody On Demand trial. I think it went really well. I'm right now still trying to get those people to commit to a challenge pack, or still talking to them about moving forward with the challenge pack. And I've really been taking the approach of, which program did you like the best? They've been using different programs like T25 and 21 Day Fix, and they've also been using, some of them have really liked, trying to think about it, what it is. There's another one, PIO. Okay, hey, please. Okay, Cash, that's enough. Life and the rules of Renee. Okay. Have a full piece of paper. Okay, so this might take a little longer than 30 minutes. So what I've been doing is really going back to them and asking them, and using the invite scripts that Summer has put together, the progressions that they... Stop.
No.
Okay, go to your room.
No.
Using the invite progressions that they have been using, and I'm telling you, they're working. Like, I haven't had a lot of people give me the objection to cost, like a genuine objection to cost. And I've been using the one about, yeah, I understand how you feel, but this is what I found, stuff like that. I've been using it a lot. Katie, can you talk about that just a little bit while I handle this?
Sure. Okay. So if you guys, have you guys been into the Google Docs, in the Team Succeed Google Docs? Because that's where you're going to find these invite scripts. And really the whole point of running these free groups really is to convert people and continue them moving on in a certain way. And Renee and I did our group separate this time, so it will be interesting to hear what she had to say. But I also have had some really good luck with asking people, you know, what program they enjoyed the most. And a lot of those programs actually ended up being the newer programs that only had like the one sneak peek, and from there they decided that they wanted more. And I really truly believe that within those challenge groups, it was a matter of continuing to ask them each week, so what did you try this week? Or which one would you like to try this week? You know, I'm not going to lie, I did have some people that, you know, maybe they tried a couple and then they were like out. Like they didn't have the time, or, you know, they didn't see the value in doing it. You know, we all have people that are like that. They're like gung-ho and are like, yeah, I want to do it. We're going to do it. And then all of a sudden, like, they just have every excuse in the book to not even try things. I had one woman that didn't even get into the on-demand. Like, she signed up for it and everything, and then she never even ended up getting into it. But then I signed a coach off of one. I also sold a Kickstart Pio pack last month, you know, so it really is a matter of continuing to build that relationship with those people, finding out what they are enjoying, and what need they actually have. Then you can go on in through those conversations and jump into those invite scripts, because we all know, like, building a relationship isn't that hard. You know, you truly are interested in what they're doing and what they like, and what's going to work for them. But at the same time, sometimes going for the ask is the hardest part. So if you can utilize those scripts that are in there, and, you know, make them fit the situation. You don't just copy and paste it. Make sure that when you actually do copy and paste it, you change some of those words so it sounds more like you each time through. So that's definitely going to be very helpful as you're moving forward and continuing to do groups like this, as well as once you get, like, say you throw it out there, say you ask them if they want to do that, continuing in on the progression of following up. So say you ask them if they want to join in on your next challenge group with a challenge pack, and you get complete cricket. You know, you don't get anything. And you're kind of like, oh, okay, great. What do I do now? Okay. Set a follow-up date. I don't care if it is, maybe say you invited them on Monday and you didn't hear anything from them all week. You still got to go back to that person that didn't say boo and ask them again. You just follow right back up and ask them, you know, how they're doing, what's going on in their life, and if they would like to be joining your next challenge group with a challenge pack, you know, or however that progression feels for you. But just because they don't say anything back to you does not mean that you just, like, cross them off your list. Okay, you still got to continue on and build that relationship and keep going and follow up with them each time. Okay, does that help? I hope I covered some of that, Renee. I was just telling them that, I don't know if you heard me. You know, our groups are, you and I did our groups separately, so I too am working on some of those people as well, but you might be doing some things differently. So hopefully I covered some of that and told them about Google Docs, going in, finding the invite scripts in Google Docs. So I don't know if you want to.
Yeah. Why in the world is this like, this is like bloopers team call. God. It's like bloopers. Nothing will connect, so you guys don't have to hear my kids in the background. Like, OMG. Really, you guys, like, if you're just starting off, like, we right now, I just want to give you a heads up that we are working on a Team Succeed website. I mean, we have it already. Cindy and I and Katie have been doing an outline of a website so that it's a little bit more user-friendly for you guys, so that you.
But, like, if you haven't used Google Drive before, just familiarize yourself with it, because, you know, if you don't have the link to the team drive, then ask us for it. Ask your coach for it, because there is really so much there that is going to help propel you forward. And I know that, like Katie said, you know, what do you do when somebody gives you the cost objective? You know, how do you respond to that? And how do you, you know, how do you give somebody a response, or what do you do when nobody, like Katie says anything back to you? Like, do you just leave it alone, or do you continue to, you know, invite them? And the answer is that if you are not like generally like out there to hound them to death, and you're just generally following up with them, 9 times out of 10, they can be like me, that they read it like on their phone and they honestly forget about the message. Because Facebook Messenger is really hard. Like, I don't even have it on my phone. I just see my messages through, if I log in through Safari on my phone. So sometimes when I get on there, I look at something, I read it, and then I come back to my computer and I forget about it. And so honestly, you have to set a date where you're going to go back and follow up with it. You have to have a process in place that allows you to do that. So, you know, how many of you, and I know, I'm over this now. Like, if somebody doesn't respond to me, I'm good with that, but I go back to them like Thursdays and Fridays. Generally, I give them about 2 or 3 days after I send them an invite if they haven't responded, and I'll just act stupid. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you saw this message or whatever, but you know, maybe you're busy, but or you're like me, that you read it and you forget, but I just wanted to see if you happen to got my message, and I'm still looking for, you know, some people to join my challenge group. Have you considered that? Have you thought about it? And most of those people will come back to me and say, oh my gosh, I forgot. I just totally read your message, just forgot to come back and respond. Everybody's busy. Look at your life and see what your life is like. Like, it's busy. Everybody's life is like that. So don't feel like you're hounding them if nobody has responded back to you. Always just remember that people, again, are busy. Go back to them, and when you make those invites, you know, wait a couple of days if they haven't responded by then, but make sure that you're going back. But I want you guys to use those scripts that are there for you, because Summer has done a really good job of combining the things that we have all learned from Danny Johnson. You know, like Katie, myself, we've all been to those things. We all are using the Feel, Felt, Found. We are taking those things, and Summer's obviously gone to quite a few more than me, and she's been to the Dynasty, all that stuff. She's giving you guys everything, like the what works for her, how she is building a successful 7-figure income right now, and how she's getting people in the challenge group, 5 to 7 new people every single month. She's doing an amazing job. And so why not use that instead of recreating it on your own? Okay, so make sure that you guys, if you don't have access to those invite scripts and what to do when somebody gives you that objection, maybe it be time, or what do you do when they don't respond, or what do you do if people say I don't like working out at home, or what do you say when somebody says I don't do them shakes? That's like my worst one. Like, I can give you like the cost objective all the time. Like, I can handle that because they're 9 times out of 10 they're spending the money. But when somebody calls it those shakes, it literally makes my skin crawl. Like, that is what makes my skin crawl. So for me, that's one that irritates me the most. So there are scripts there that say, you know, I totally understand. I didn't like them either at first. I believe in this, but here's what I found. And you don't have to go back into this big long spiel of, you know, this is why you should buy it, and this is why it's better than Vega, this is why it's better than, you know, whatever else is out there, Herbalife shake, stuff like that. Guys, keep it down. Thank you. So anyway, use those scripts, use the invite templates that are there, because they are really good. And I'm really proud of Summer and her team for putting those together. And I just think they're really working well. But again, like what Katie said, is that you have to kind of make them your own. You know, you have to make them sound like you. If Caitlin, you know, sends out an invite and says, hey girl, how's it going? Like, what's up? You know, like, that's not, you know, like Caitlin wouldn't like say that. Like Shelly, you know, Shelly, I've gotten to know Shelly, I've never met in person, but I'm pretty sure she would be like, hey girl, you know, what's up? I'm like, how you doing? You know what I mean? Like, she wouldn't be like that. She'd be like, hey, you know, whatever. But I just don't think that she would say that, you know. So use your own tone via email, via text, via message, all that stuff. Use your tone and how you would talk, but just take some of those suggestions and use them. Okay? Does that make sense? It's all there for you guys. All you have to do is sit down and be very diligent about spending your hour or half an hour on your business every single day. If you are committed to that and you are committed to following up with people and having a process, the other thing that is there is like the invite like a boss script. If you guys haven't seen it, the invite like a boss. It's their name. You write all the names down that you want to talk to for the month of June. Okay. You know what? I've been highlighting the ones that I have on my list that I need to start new conversations with. Okay. Once I have started that, I message them. You know, I kind of keep some notes, and then keep notes here about whether you message them, did you invite them to a challenge, what you kind of invited them to, the free 10 or a 30-day challenge or like a 60-day challenge, whatever you might want to do. But you can write down a list of, let's say 10 people is your goal for the month. I'm sorry, for the week, or 40 for the month. Then you would know that you need to have 40 names on this list, and you need to make sure that you're working through this list every single month. What I have been doing is creating one for a quarter. So I'll have June, July, and August. Whatever. The next 2 months, this one, and June, July, and August. I'll have those available for me so that I know, okay, if somebody gave me an objection for June, I know I need to put them on my July list. Okay, so I'll have a July list, and then I'll put that name over here automatically. So then when I have them for July, like one person told me, hey, I'm really busy until July. I would love to do a challenge, but it's just not going to work this month. Can you when do you do them again? I said July. Okay, so I put her on the July list. So keep track of your list and always have that with you. Okay, and always be adding people to your list every single day. Okay, so any questions on that? Just make sure that you schedule out your life. We talked about it last week, living your life with intention. You know, if you aren't living by a planner or a planner book, you need to get one. Okay? Hi, guys. Get a planner. You know, plan out your week. Be intentional. Write it in. Schedule your life into a book. It has been helping me so much. I'm not perfect by any means, but I am doing so much better than what I would have if I didn't have it all written down. Like, I feel like I need to have everything written down every week, and it's helping me out a lot. Okay? All right. So, yes, Harper, that's very nice of you. That's very nice. Okay. So any questions on that, you guys?
Hi, guys.
Okay. One thing I do want to talk about is setting some goals. Some of you are very new to the business, and you know, one thing I've been reading this book called EntreLeadership by Dave Ramsey. I've read probably half of it in the last couple of days. I've started it before and never did finish, but it seems like when I read something 3 or 4 times from the beginning, I seem to absorb it a little bit more. So this time I'm going to go through the entire book. Anyway, it talks a lot about sharing your it talks about dreams, vision, and goals, and how all those 3 things are different. And the first one is talking about what your dreams are. Okay, like a dream is like, guys, and I never really understood how different they can be. A dream is really like overall, what are your dreams? Like, what are the things that you want to have out of your life? Okay, and what are the things that you want? Where do you want to go? Like in terms of your fitness, with your nutrition, with your business, with your marriage, with your family. In Caitlin's case, just to put a ring on it. We had this talk where it was like, she just was like, 6 years, 5 years, 3 years, whatever it is, 3 years. You know, what I'm trying to say is that you have to have an idea of where you want your business to go and what your dreams are. Okay? Everybody's dreams. Cash, just give me a second. 5 minutes. You know, your dreams are really like what drives you to get every day. Like the dreams, I know many of you from talking to you about kind of what you would like to have in your business. So dreams are just really what get you going. The vision is really how you're going to get there. And then your goals are really like specifically how you're going to get there. So how many of you guys have an idea of what your dreams are with your business, like with your life? Like, do you have specific dreams that you want to achieve? Like, do you? Has everybody thought about that? Like, sat down and actually thought about your dreams?
Yes.
Shelly? Like, what you're doing right now, what, like, would you change differently? In a perfect world, if you had nothing to change, and, you know, if you had nothing that was holding you back, what are some things that you would want to do with your life? Would you want to travel more? Would you want to have a destination wedding? Would you want to, like, have 12 kids? Would you like to be able to fund all of your 12 kids' college education fund? Would you like to move to Arizona someday through the winter? Would you like to be able to retire your husband? Would you like to be able to, you know, create relief from your husband being like the prime breadwinner? Like, what are some things that you would really like to do with your personal life? And, you know, and what does your perfect day look like? Have you ever thought about what your perfect day would look like? I'm going to ask Shelly because she seems like she's going to talk. So, Shelly, have you ever thought about it?
I'm just trying to think now, like, yeah. I don't know. I guess being able to take my family on a holiday would be one nice thing. I don't know how to think more of it, but something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really hard and I think that's something when I talk to people, 9 times out of 10, most people don't really know what that means. Like, they've never sat down and really thought anything different for their life. Like, they just have this perception of, this is what's normal. This is where I need to be. This is what is reality. This is what I can't change it. You see what I'm saying? And it's really hard, you guys. And Katie and I have done business development. We've done, you know, business training and all those things. And it's like you have this law of, like, the lid, I think is what they call it. It's like, you can only go so far unless you push yourself, like, you raise that lid, right? So, like, it's really hard for me sometimes because, you know, I'm from a rural community. This is, you know, what my parents have always, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's the norm. And, you know, everybody has a really hard time with dreaming. I think everybody's really forgotten what it means to dream. So what I challenge you guys to do is, if it was a perfect world, if you were making all the money in the world, you didn't have any, you know, limitations, time wasn't an issue, you know, picking up and doing whatever you wanted to do in your life, what would that look like for you? And your dreams are really is what is essential to you winning, you know, and you getting up every day to work your business. Because if you're really floating around in space and you really don't have anything to work towards, you know, it's really hard to get up and get excited about what you're doing. You know, it's really hard to get up at 5 a.m. for me to send out invitations and to read my personal development and to work out and do all those things. If I didn't have something that really lit a fire inside of me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think so many people in this country and in this world, they have forgotten what it's like to have those dreams and goals and aspirations and have something to work towards. So I guess what I challenge you guys to do is to sit down and figure out what would be some things that, if you had no limitations, what would it be? What would you look like? You know, like Katie, you know, she wants to be able to move back home, and she wants to have the ability to travel, and she wants to do all these things. Like, she wants to be able to move towards, you know, Nebraska, and she wants to retire her parents. She wants to do all these things, and I know that about her because she shared that with me. But what I want you guys to think about in the next couple of days and take a little bit is to figure out, what would your perfect day look like? What are the dreams and things that you would want to have? And what excites you to get up in the morning to do this business? Okay? So your dreams are really the overall, your overall look into what your life would look like. Like, that's what your dreams are. Your vision is the next step to developing your dream to something. Visions are dreams with more clarity. So, you know, and these things are going to change all the time. You know, they're always going to change, but your vision is really like breaking it like kind of down and getting more specific about what you want. You know, maybe you want to travel the world. That's your dream. You want to go on more vacations. You want to do those things. But your vision is really like specifically where you want to do that at. Who do you want to do it with? Where would you like to go? How much money are you going to need? You know, breaking those things down in. Like your dreams are like the overarching. Your vision is how you're going to get there. And then your goals are really breaking it down even more. Setting small goals. What is your weekly goal? What is your monthly goal? What do you need to do in the year to be able to get there? Okay? And so I just think that that's really important. Like we haven't talked about goals and dreams and visions for a long time. And I think that's really important for us to revisit that on a regular basis, because it's like that. It's like when I start to think about my goals for myself and my family, like it fires me up on inside. And when I don't think about that, when I don't talk about it, it's really easy to just put that to a back burner and just kind of go through routines of life, right? Katie? Yeah? When you forget about it and you don't see it in front of you all the time, like you guys, I just want to share this with you, and this is something that I can share with the rest of the team. But every year, you know, I've been starting to focus on some goals. But goals are, you have to have like this wheel. If you only have one side of the wheel that is, you know, even like if you only have like a section of the wheel that is, you know, being fulfilled, then the rest of it is basically like a flat tire. So you have your family, you have your financial goals, you have your social goals. What are your physical goals? What are your spiritual goals? Where are you going to go in terms of your career? So, you know, all those things have to be playing into that. So what I challenge you guys to do is to sit down and think about, you know, what are some goals that you want to see and set for yourself in the next month? What are goals that you want to see for yourself in the next 3 months? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be with your fitness? Where do you want to be December 2015 before you start the new year? Write those things down, and then I want you to make sure that you have an overarching goal. What are you working towards? Break it down a little bit, and share that with me. Share that with your coach. Okay, if I'm not your coach, then share it with your personally sponsored coaches. I want you guys to think about that and write it down. Get it on paper. Because if you do not write it down, it's very easy to forget. Okay? Any questions about that? And I think, you know, sometimes it's like you feel selfish for thinking outside the box a little bit. Like that's not the normal. Like people are going to think I'm crazy for wanting some of those things, and it's not normal. And I tell you, it isn't normal, but the people who are doing it are achieving greater things than people who are not. Okay? And don't ever feel guilty about the things that you want in life that's maybe different from somebody else, or what you want truly out of life. And that's, you know, it's a really hard thing to do, to sit down and just really pinpoint what it is, because you're like, I feel guilty about that. Like, you know, like I feel guilty about wanting to make $200,000 a year. That should be like not even talked about, you know? Who does that? Like that's too much money. Like you feel guilty about that. But honestly, if that's what you want and that's what you need in order to meet your goals and to do what you want to do, you know, don't feel guilty about that. You know, if you want to have a better relationship with your significant other, you know, make sure that you are setting a goal every month or every week to go out on a date with them. Go out and do something with them. Just you and your significant other. Spend more time with, and you know, even if it's just like being at home, you know, with them, watching a movie, put the kids to bed, and just spending unaltered time with them, without phones, without the computer, without any obstructions. That's really important. And you guys need to sit down and figure out what those are and how you're going to do it, because, you know, it's career, financial, spiritual, physical, intellectual, family, and social. Those are the 7 different spokes of getting started or goal setting. I'm going to say that again. Career, financial, spiritual, physical, intellectual, family, and social. And I will actually give you that goals for 2005 sheet so you guys can sit down and figure that out, what you guys want for the next, can you even believe it, 6 months of the year? It seems like 6 months has flown by. It has, really. Okay, so that's all I had for you guys tonight. I do really want to revisit those goals because a lot of you are new, and you don't really know. You haven't really fit like in that place where you know exactly what you want or what Beachbody can actually poop. Sorry. Sorry, just had a Tourette's. Like, woo! Anyway, sit down, and I would like to have a house without diapers. That's what I want right now. Anyway, yes, you did. Okay, great. So sit down and think about what it is that you really want, and just like let yourself go. Let yourself not give you any inhibitions. Just like let that all go. And what would it be? Would you live where you're living right now? You know, what would your perfect day look like? What would you be doing on a perfect day? What do you want for your kids? You know, what kind of financial situation do you want for your kids? Like if Beachbody could take you anywhere, where would it go and what would it look like? Okay, that's really cool to do. It's really fun just to sit down and write all those things down. Okay? All right. That's all I have for you guys tonight. I appreciate you coming. It's been awesome. Don't forget to mark down for every Monday night we're having these calls. And, you know, if there's anything ever that you guys are struggling with or you need something, really these calls are really to help you guys kind of recharge your battery, get ready for your week, make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing. And, what? Okay. And hopefully next week I will have some help, but I can't guarantee you that, but that's just normal. I'm not perfect. I'm a mom just like many of you.
I'm
What?
in my house. I gotta read a book in my house.
Okay, read your book in your house. Okay. Anyway, you guys, it's been fun. I appreciate it so much. And this is recorded. And I appreciate you guys. And if you ever need anything, you let me know, okay? All right. Good night, you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.